Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So today we're going to do some Jesmonite coasters. So what I've got is, I've got 175 grams of Jesmonite powder and 70 grams of Jesmonite liquid, and I have sifted the powder. So I often recommend you should sift the powder, but there's also another reason I've done it this time is, well, it's a bit full. We're going to be putting it into little bottles to squirt out a pattern. So because I've got a very fine tip, we really would be best if we had no lumps, which we're always going to get slight lumps, I find, when it comes to Jesmonite. So I had to stir it in very slowly at first because the cup was really full. It's getting quite bubbly, this one. So we just want it really well incorporated. I always scrape my sides of the cup and then scrape the stick and then reincorporate that I've scraped off. It's already got quite a lot of bubbles in it, so I'm going to stir it quite vigorously because I want to get out any lumps. Okay. Now for the first part, what we want to do is we want to pour some of this into a couple of smaller cups. So I'm probably only going to need to go about maybe halfway, just more, just over. Sometimes I would rather that little bit more than that little bit less. So just under 20 mils here. All right, now I'm just going to set that cup aside. Now I'm using Archery Creations colors today. So these are acrylic resin colors. They're quite good. I just find the bottles aren't as user-friendly as I would like them to be, but we get that. So I just want one drop. Well, that one didn't come out as drops, that came out as a little bit of a stream. Hopefully the purple will be better behaved. Oops, and that got 2 drops. A little bit darker than what I wanted, but I can't help that now. That's what I mean by these bottles. It pours in and then I get spillage, and they're not the cleanest bottles to use. So I find them a little bit frustrating. I've got to wipe off that nozzle every time, otherwise I get dried bits everywhere. But we will move on. Now, just stir these in, incorporate that colour through. I want them to be pastel-y, not deep colour. So I'm hoping the 2 drops doesn't make it too dark. No, that should be fine. So you just stir them in quite well. It's not as pastel as I planned, but that's fine. It's still not a bad colour. Okay, so that's stirred. Now we're going to go teal. So I think it's got, what have I got? Peacock and I think grape. So we've got to work fast today because we don't want this to harden up. So put that aside. Give this a good pinch so we get a spout, and then pour it into the bottle. This one's got a very thin nozzle, so I've got to be careful. And at the same time, I have to work quick because these here, it does start setting up. Some eco resins have got a longer working time, but I'm using Jesmonite. I've probably got more than I need, actually. Alright, we'll just put that one aside. Put on the nozzle, and see it's got a very fine tip. And now I'm just going to do dots. So I'm going to do larger dots first of all, and just randomly. Some that aren't as big. Now I'll do it on this one as well. So just try to place them randomly-ish. Now, the purple. So the purple feels like it hasn't hardened up like the teal, like the peacock one. Like I think sometimes some colours react with the actual Jesmonite and can change its consistency. There we go. There's a little bits in there, but I'm not going to try and scrape them out into a different mould right now because I have to work quick. And then we just do the same thing. So the reason why I sifted it is for the simple fact that I need it to come out without blocking up. So you just make your circles as large or small as you like. One more over here, I think. And now what I do is, I might do the teal first because it's thicker. Now I just squeeze it enough just to get a tiny little dot. So you're going to be a little bit careful with these tiny dots because sometimes they can go a bit more out of shape. And then I do one or two down in this edge. Well, when I say one or two, I mean probably about 7 or 8 of each colour. This coaster has a lip. Not a fan of coasters with lips, but this is probably the better shaped coaster I've got for the moment. So now I'm just going around and randomly placing little dots. I'll do some on this one. I hope my head's not in the way. This table is taller than my last table, but I think I need to get an adjustable one. Now again down in this lip. I may just do a couple more because I can feel this one getting thicker. So I don't want it to get too hard. The purple I think will be a bit more better working time. Now I'm also, well, I've got heaps left in here. So I'm just going to do some patterns on this love heart mold. I think that would look good. I've got another one up here. I might do the same with that because I like the way that looks. So just how you would do a cupcake. There's still more, so I may just grab another love heart mold. Oh, that one's very shiny. I'm trying not to use my shiny ones because I'd rather use the shiny ones for resin and my dull ones for Jesmonite, because Jesmonite will dull them. It doesn't matter about that extra spillage. It will all work out in the long run. Okay, now let's go purple. Yeah, the purple definitely is thinner. So it must be the colour that's reacted, because I mixed them both. All the Jesmonite was mixed up at the same time. So I made this the other day off video. A friend at work was leaving, so I made one of these for her and I loved it. So I thought I'm gonna make one and do it on video. You just got to work a little bit quick when you're using these tip nozzles, because you don't want it to start hardening up, otherwise the bottle is gone, can't be used anymore. And you can use whatever colours you want. You can add multiple colours. I find sometimes you can make it too busy if you do too many different colours. So I'm trying to make it nice enough. Now, let's try some of this purple in this. Okay, excellent. So I want to go wash these out, but I don't want too much Jesmonite in the, I don't want to wash too much Jesmonite down the sink. So I'm just going to squirt it into here. This is just a spare mold. definitely thicker. Don't know if you guys can actually see this on camera or not. All as I'm doing is squirting out the excess Jesmonite from my fine tip bottles into a mould of just plain love hearts. Just because I don't want to get it in the... Okay, I'm going to pause the camera. Even though this is setting a little bit, I need to get these bottles washed. How's this going? Okay, it's still workable. So I have to wash these bottles first. So I'm going to climb up, pause the video, and then come back in like 2 minutes because I'm just going to do my best to wash these as quickly as possible. All right, back in a minute. I'm back. Okay, so they're been washed out, which is, I did it quite quickly, but thoroughly, because otherwise those bottles are ruined. So you can see this is actually starting to set up a little bit. What we have left is this. It's getting a little bit creamy, but it's still quite workable. So I now have some black, which I just want to put in 2 drops. I'm having a little bit of issue with this nozzle. It looks like it has... Oh no. Okay. How am I going to do that? 4 drops went in, but I do not want 4 drops. So, paper towel, where are you? Paper towel. Try and scoop up a bit with the pop stick. And just wipe it onto that. That should be good. I'll throw that in the bin before that colour goes anywhere. So now there's a little bit of black in here. Let's hope I didn't take out too much. Oh, maybe still a little bit more than what I was wanting. That's all right. I was hoping for a little bit more subtle grey. But it's given me a grey. Oh well. Grey, purple and teal always look good. So, pinch this into a spout. And then just pour it in gently. And I just work my way around. It's good that the teal and the purple have set up a little bit. Okay, that's that. Now the next one. It was actually one of those things, when I made them for my friend, after I made them, I'm like, oh, I don't want to give these away now, I want to keep them, but I made them specially for her, so I had to give them to her. But I really liked them, so recreating what I thought was very cool. Alright, now I'm just going to pour some into these love hearts. Making a bit of a mess. That's what art's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Make a bit of a mess along the way. I am a little bit meticulous about cleaning up my area afterwards, but in saying that, I clean up messes, but I've got artwork that I have to find homes for. So they haven't found their home yet, so they're a little bit in my way. I might do this little pendant just because I don't know if I've got enough to do the proper love heart. No, I won't have enough to do that other love heart. I'll just top up some of these. Alright guys, so I try not to take up too much time doing other bits and pieces like the pendants or whatever. I just don't want to waste the resin. I mean the Jesmonite eco resin. These I'm not going to tap too much. If I get a few bubbles, so be it. I'm just, yeah, I don't want to dislodge the pattern underneath, the dots. So by just blowing on the back, I'm kind of just pushing it in, like getting rid of the bubbles on the back surface. I am going to just do one thing with this pendant and just make sure that I have no holes around the tip where the hole is for the pendant, because if there's a hole there, then it makes that part too weak and it just doesn't work. Okay, this is it. Now the waiting game, just to see how they set up. I can't wait. Just see how everything turns out. I might give that a tiny tap because it looks a little bit uneven. Alrighty. So I'll pause this now and we will be back in probably 30 minutes and we'll demold it and see how they look. Okay, catch you soon. Bye. Alrighty, we are back, ready to demold these. So I'm pretty excited about these. So they're nice and set. It's probably been about 25 minutes. And they come out really simply. Oh, cool. That looks really, really good. Really happy with that. So you've got the big polka dots, then you've got the little small dots that go around. It does have that kind of slightly grainy look that you sometimes get when you do Jesmonite. Does not worry me in the slightest. I like things to be more natural, but that might change as it dries more from the surface. There's only a couple of tiny little bubbles, but again, I'd rather have a bubble or two than ruin the actual image by tapping it and the color going underneath this, the dots. So next one should be very similar. Awesome. So these are really cool. Simple to do. You just have to have a slightly steady hand when you're doing the dots. The smaller the dots are harder to do than the bigger ones, just for the simple fact that there's not as much give if you wiggle or have the shakes a little bit when you're doing it. But hopefully you guys can see that quite well. I can't see what's going on. But you get a tiny little darker outline. So around the purple, there's like a dark purple ring. Around the teal, there's a darker teal ring. Same with the little dots. Even the little ones have this like little ring that you get around them. That's what happens when you put Jesmonite over the top of another color. It doesn't always happen, but it usually does. But I'm really pleased. So I leave these to dry on the surface more. And while I'm here, I'm just going to unmold one of these. These are going to make a bit of a mess because all these bits here will break off. Maybe I should try and break them off first. Well, while I'm doing this, so guys, leave comments. Tell me what you actually think about them. And share the video, like the video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps me out. I've just gone over, I think it was 2,000. I can't remember now. Every day I'm quite excited because I don't have hundreds, like thousands and thousands of subscribers. I get quite excited when I go and I see the number go up. So all right, now we'll turn this one over. Oh, that's cool. Let's show you guys. So because I did the teal at the bottom and then the purple, the teal's the more dominant color, but that looks really cool. That would make a really nice pendant. We'll do the other one. So you know how the bit that pours over on top, that comes off quite easily. I'm just doing it over here so I don't make a mess. But it comes off the mold really simply. You just kind of give it a little bit of a squeeze and then it pops off. And I've got some terrazzo pieces that I can use. There we go. I'll probably give that a sand on the back just to make it even. And there we go, another cool little one. Really enjoy these. I'm really enjoying Jesmonite in general. I find it quite a fun medium to work with. It's a bit more forgiving to do certain things, and I like that I don't have to, like I wear a dust mask when I'm mixing my Jesmonite, but I like it that I don't have to put on big respirators and everything, because here it's really hot. I don't have air conditioning, and when I say really hot, I mean like the days can be 40 degrees in summer easily. 40 degrees is actually quite common. And wearing respirators and everything, I get quite out of breath and I sweat that much that my respirator actually fills up with sweat, so it just becomes a bit uncomfortable. So doing Jesmonite has opened that up for me, just wearing a dust mask when I'm mixing, so it makes it a lot more easier and more fun for me. That's turned out quite cool as well, actually. Again, this one I did the teal one way and the purple the other way, but because the teal's the bottom color, you can't really notice which pattern I've done with the purple. But again, easy, just nice cool little pendant. That'll look quite pretty. So there we are, coasters. Really happy with that. If you wanted to, you could give it a slight sand. I don't want to. These small dots are really small. If you sanded it too much, you would actually erase them, and I don't want to do that. And I like just having differences in them. So this has got that slight little grainy effect, but I don't mind that. And again, just a couple of small little bubbles. It doesn't really matter. It's a coaster. It's not like I'm making anything to go on an art gallery or anything. I'm making these for home or for friends. Even if you took them to a market and they got a bubble in them, as long as you just tell people there's a bubble because it's handmade, most people are actually quite cool, because you don't see the bubble first of all, you see the artwork. But they're similar enough without being identical. And if you wanted to try do an identical pattern, you probably could. I find if you want to do identical, you're probably best to use like the tattoos, like the water paper or whatever. But these here, quite cool, and they're embedded. So this color here is not going to rub off or anything like that. It's actually embedded into the Jesmonite because it's all Jesmonite. So that's it for today. I might get a photo or two out in different lighting. But thanks everyone. So have fun, and I will see you soon for another video. Oh, just got to climb up to turn off my camera. All right, have fun everyone. Okay, bye. Okay, here we go everyone. This is what they look like out in the sun. I can't see my camera too well because it's too sunny, but they are looking really good. Look how cool these dots are. So you get the slightly darker outer ring, But yeah, really happy with them. And this is how the love hearts turned out. So they've come out quite good, and the little pendant. But this is the main thing I wanted to show you. So I hope everyone thinks these, oops, the wind's blowing, nearly blowing away. Hope everyone had fun watching this, and yeah, I'll see you soon for another video. Alright, catch you later everyone. Bye.